Hi everyone, welcome back to the third part of the Curious World of MrRay, episode 6. Really hope you enjoyed those animated shows. To finish us out for the episode, I've got something a little bit special lined up. Rather than just having a couple of regular movies, I've looked out some Buster Keaton. All of his works are pretty much freely available these days, and I can't help but feel that Buster Keaton's one of these people that folks seem superficially aware of nowadays, but they don't really watch his movies. And I would just like to take this little moment, a little opportunity to do a little segment in this episode doing some of my favourite films. These are all the colorized versions. I've looked these out specifically for you guys because, like I say, I'm well aware that this is a big ask, that I'm taking a big risk just by doing something that's not only black and white but also silent. So I've tried to compromise as much as I can by finding colorized versions of my favourite Buster Keaton films. I don't even know where to begin discussing these fantastic films, and everything from the shorts to the thing. The boat. Please look out for the joke where he's calling SOS for the lifeguard, and he's like, "Who's this?" The damned if you know. Well, if you don't know, how am I supposed to? And hangs up. That's like a fully verbal joke in a silent movie. You know what I mean? This was the genius of Buster Keaton. That was a verbal joke that was so obvious and on point and on cue. You didn't even need to hear them saying it. You just knew what it was so brilliant what he used to do. In Cops, the extent of his physical comedy, the scene where he grabs the car and gets yanked off his feet. He did that. That would yank the arm off of a lesser mortal. The man was superhuman. This is what I'm saying. People think of him as like a silent clown, you know, and he was a comedy genius, and not just a comedy genius, but an athlete, a stuntman that was so far ahead of his time. He was all of these things, Buster Keaton. He was such an incredible human being. And watching his films now, they are incredible. Like I say, the things that he does in his films blow my mind to this day. There are things that are so dangerous, like dropping a house on him and him going through the window. There have been like a handful of people that have ever even attempted that stunt. It's so dangerous, because if you're just off the mark by a few inches, it's serious injury or death. You're dropping the front of a house on somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's no joke. And you'd be, just a little fun fact, you might be surprised to know, one of the few people that have actually ever attempted that stunt, he was the very first one to do it, Buster Keaton, having a house dropped on him. But one of the few others that have attempted it is Tom Green. There you go. But and Freddie Got Fingered, he got a house dropped on him in that, and he's a handful of people that have attempted that stunt because it's so dangerous. So props to Tom Green for doing that. But it was Buster Keaton that did it first, and you'll see all of these in the films that I've got lined up. And like Steamboat Bill, that's an absolute favourite as well. But I've ended off this little selection of Buster Keaton. I feel it's quite apt. I've ended it with his final ever film, the last film that he ever made. He was an old man, and he wasn't able to do the stunts that he was able to do when he was young. But you can absolutely see he had lost none of his wit or his sharpness. He was as deadpan and as amazing as ever, and I'm just so grateful for the body of work that he left behind, and it makes me sad to think that people seem to be forgetting it, or only just kind of remembering him as like a pop culture image rather than actually knowing his work, you know, and watching it. So I've dedicated the last section of the episode today entirely to Buster Keaton. So I really hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, I'll catch you after.